Think about it honestly. Different face, different name, different story, yet the same feeling, the same disappointment, the same emotional pattern, the same ending. You didn't imagine this. You are not unlucky, and this is not coincidence. There is a reason you keep attracting the same person, and it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with what inside you is still unresolved. This is not about love. It's about recognition. People think attraction is about chemistry. It's not. Attraction is recognition. You are drawn to what feels familiar, not what feels healthy. Your nervous system does not search for happiness. It searches for what it knows. That's why logic fails here. That's why promises don't change the outcome. Because the pull isn't conscious. It's psychological. Why different person, same pain keeps happening. You tell yourself, this one is different. And maybe they are on the surface. But emotionally, they trigger the same wounds. The same waiting. The same overgiving. The same confusion. The same silence. Because you are not choosing people. You are repeating a pattern, the unseen contract you keep signing. Every repeated attraction is an unconscious contract, a silent agreement that says, I will relive this dynamic until I understand it. Your mind wants love. Your unconscious wants resolution, and it will recreate the same emotional environment until the lesson is integrated. Why you feel drawn even when you know better. Ever notice this? Your intuition warns you. Your logic sees the red flags. Your body feels tense. Yet you still feel pulled. That pull is not desire. It is unfinished business. Your psyche believes, this time it will end differently. But it won't. Not until you change. The role of emotional memory. Your past relationships didn't disappear. They live inside you as emotional memory. Not images, patterns. How love felt. How abandonment felt. How attention was earned. How affection was withheld. These memories shape attraction. You are magnetized to what matches them. Why the same person feels fated. This is important. Familiar pain often feels like destiny. Intensity feels like depth. Chaos feels like passion. Uncertainty feels like excitement. But intensity without safety is not love. It's activation. The body knows before the mind. Notice your body when you meet them. Your chest tightens. Your breath changes. Your stomach drops. That's not chemistry. That's recognition. Your body saying, I've been here before. Why you can't think your way out of this. Affirmations won't fix this. Positive thinking won't fix this. Manifestation without awareness won't fix this. Because this pattern is not mental. It's emotional and somatic. You don't break it by choosing differently. You break it by becoming different. The real question you must ask, not why do I keep meeting them, but what inside me responds to them. Because the moment that response changes, the attraction disappears. Not slowly, immediately. What this means and why it's powerful. This pattern is not punishment. It's an invitation to heal. Abandonment wounds, self-worth gaps, emotional over-responsibility, fear of being alone. The same person keeps appearing because the lesson is still active. A truth most people never hear. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are ready to repeat. Until you are ready to release it. Every repeated relationship follows the same invisible sequence. It always starts with hope. Not ordinary hope, emotional hope. The kind that whispers, maybe this time I'll finally be chosen. Maybe this time I'll be enough. Maybe this time it won't hurt. That hope isn't random. It's born from a place in you that once waited and never received. Why certain people trigger you instantly. Some people don't enter your life gently. They activate you. Your thoughts race. Your emotions intensify. Your focus narrows onto them. This isn't love. This is your nervous system reacting to familiarity. Your system recognizes a pattern that feels unfinished. The unconscious role you keep playing. Without realizing it, you step into the same role every time. Maybe you become the one who understands, the one who waits, the one who gives more, the one who hopes they'll change. And they play the opposite role. Distant, unavailable, conflicted, emotionally inconsistent. Different face, same dynamic. Why you feel responsible for their emotions. Notice this carefully. You feel guilty when they pull away. You blame yourself when they go silent. You try harder when they give less. That response didn't start with them. It started long before. You learned love as something to earn. So your system keeps choosing situations where earning feels necessary. The addiction nobody talks about. There is a chemical component here. Uncertainty releases dopamine. Validation releases relief. Silence creates anxiety. This emotional roller coaster creates attachment, not because they're special, but because the cycle is stimulating. Your mind mistakes intensity for meaning. Why peace feels boring to you? Here's the uncomfortable truth. When someone is emotionally available, you don't feel the same spark. Not because they lack depth, but because your system isn't activated. Your body has learned chaos as normal. So calm feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar feels unsafe. The rejection that repeats itself. Every time it ends, the wound deepens. Not because they left, but because it confirms an old belief. I'm always the one left waiting. That belief strengthens the pattern, and the pattern attracts the same energy again. Why you can't forget them, even after it's over. You're not missing them. You're missing the moment you thought, this could finally be it. The attachment isn't to the person, it's to the possibility they represented. A possibility that never resolved. The shadow side of hope. Hope becomes dangerous when it's attached to someone who withholds. You don't fall in love with who they are. You fall in love with who they almost become. That almost keeps you hooked. What this pattern is really asking from you, not to chase harder, not to wait longer, not to change them. It's asking you to confront something deeper. Why does being chosen feel like relief instead of expectation? Why does love feel earned instead of mutual? Why does absence feel familiar? This is where the pattern begins to break. The pattern breaks the moment you stop romanticizing struggle, when you stop confusing longing with love, when you stop calling emotional distance mystery. The attraction fades when the lesson is understood, the wound beneath the pattern. Every repeated attraction has one source, not the mind, not the heart. The wound, a quiet belief formed early in life that says, love is unstable, connection can disappear, I must hold on. This belief doesn't speak in words. It speaks through attraction. Why this person feels different, but isn't. They arrive at a moment of vulnerability. When you're open, when you're tired of being alone, when you want meaning, they feel like an answer. But they are a mirror, reflecting what still needs healing. The moment the bond actually forms. Attachment doesn't form when they show love. It forms when they withdraw. That's the moment something old activates. Your system recognizes the emotional gap and tries to close it. That effort creates bonding, not closeness bonding. Why you become more invested as they give less. This is critical. Your effort increases when uncertainty appears. Your thoughts revolve around them. Your emotions heighten. Your self-focus disappears. That's not romance. That's survival mode. Your nervous system is trying to restore emotional balance. The invisible fear controlling your choices. Underneath everything is one fear. If I let go, I'll be alone. Not physically, emotionally. So your system clings to what's familiar, even when it hurts. Pain feels safer than emptiness. Why the universe repeats the lesson. Life doesn't punish. It teaches. The same type of person appears again because the internal boundary hasn't changed. Once the boundary changes, the attraction dissolves. No drama, no closure, just neutrality. The turning point nobody talks about. There comes a moment when something inside you shifts. You notice the pattern, but more importantly, you stop reacting. The emotional charge weakens. Their silence doesn't pull you. Their presence doesn't intoxicate you. That's not indifference. That's integration. Why they suddenly feel confused by you. When you stop playing your role, the dynamic collapses. They sense the change. They feel less powerful, less certain. Not because you changed them, but because you changed your response. The attraction fades before the relationship ends. Here's the quiet truth. The pattern dies inside you before it ends externally. One day, you wake up and the pull is gone. Not replaced, just gone. What replaces the old attraction? Peace, clarity, emotional steadiness. And at first, it feels strange, because chaos was familiar. But slowly, this becomes home. The final illusion breaks here. You realize, it was never about them. It was about healing a version of yourself that learned to wait for love. Once healed, you stop waiting, and the universe responds accordingly. The cycle does not end with confrontation. It does not end with closure. It ends quietly. The moment you no longer feel the urge to explain yourself, to prove your worth, or to wait for emotional breadcrumbs, that moment is freedom. What actually changes inside you? You stop chasing clarity from others. You stop looking for signs. You stop hoping silence means something. Because clarity comes from alignment, not attention. Your nervous system relaxes. And relaxed systems don't attach to chaos. Why you won't attract them again? Here's the truth most people miss. Once the lesson is integrated, the attraction has nothing to hook into. You can meet the same type of person again and feel nothing. No spark, no pull, no urgency. Just awareness. The kind of love that comes next. It doesn't arrive dramatically. It doesn't confuse you. It doesn't make you anxious. It feels steady, mutual, clear. At first, you might question it. But soon you realize, this is what safety feels like. Why this love lasts. Because it doesn't activate wounds. It honors boundaries. It respects presence. It doesn't disappear to create value. This love meets you where you already stand. The final truth. You didn't keep attracting the same person because you were broken. You attracted them because you were healing. Now, the cycle is complete. A moment of self-recognition. Look back. Notice how much you've changed. You no longer chase. You no longer wait. You no longer beg energy to stay. That's growth. Have you noticed the pattern changing? Or are you still meeting the same person in a different body?